Lord have mercy.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm speaking for the nation. One more time.
Lord.
I would say
Oh, not again.
until I see justice served. Right now,
Right.
I'm reserving
Some people go like this. They're doing this.
until I see justice served.
Hello and welcome to the truth
Truth
behind
behind
the
the
truth.
truth.
Yes, indeed. How is everyone this evening? We are doing well. I think half of America is like excited, the other half is upset. Well, you know, that's how we do things around America.
America is going through a ball of confusion.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's a complete bottle of fusion, you know. I mean, but we're gonna talk about all things tonight, especially that orange suit that we just saw. Hey, I'm sorry.
I gotta
You know,
reserve it. I gotta
look,
see it.
I have predicted the whole thing, but we'll get into that a little bit when we talk about the show. Anyway, gentlemen, how are you? Good to see you. Harold, welcome back.
I'm back. I'm alive. I'm alive.
Yes, welcome back. We missed you.
I missed you guys too. I missed
Yeah,
you
we
guys.
missed you. I mean, you know, your input, your energy, your smile. You know, hey, that's why this team is what this team is.
Well, I'm working on the smile. It ain't quite there yet, but we get
Okay,
there.
all right. Okay, you know, we ain't in your mouth, so you know we okay.
It's still a grin for now. It's just a
Right,
grin.
Exactly. Mr. P, how are you?
Woo, I'm out, but I'm good. As it's been quite a whirlwind, a weekend. You know, doing For the Love of a Glove last night. This morning, I had breakfast with our friends, you know, Eric and David, that were on the show.
Right.
And Miss Thelma Houston. I got her up to come out for
breakfast.
breakfast.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow, that was awesome.
Okay. It was really nice. And then I took part in a panel with Better Brothers LA on the Black LGBT community and mental wellness.
Okay.
And so that was nice to meet. I met Miss Marsha Warfield, the legendary.
Yes. Great.
She was on the panel, and what a dynamic woman she is. It was just and just very, you know, down to earth, laid back and cool.
You know, and it's so good to see her back on television again. I mean, because I enjoyed her way back on the original Night Court, you know, and then the revision of it again. It seems to be doing very well too for coming back, and they got renewed for 2 more seasons, I think.
Oh wow!
You know,
good for
already, them. Yeah. So I was like, somebody liking them, you know, you know, with this day and time, you know. So, Hunt, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay,
I'm great.
And
that's it. I'm good. How about yourself?
I am. Y'all know I'm excited right now because man, look, I have been waiting for this night because if this night would have been Thursday night, I was like, I'm about to call y'all. Let's go live. Okay. I was thrilled. Good evening, Miss Elma. Yeah, I was so thrilled, you know, I mean, to see where things have been. But real quick before we get into that, I want to welcome my audience tonight to The Truth Behind the Truth. We love you guys for taking out the time to be a part of us, and to our new viewers. I'm sure we have quite a few new viewers tonight based upon the things that went on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram that we put out there to bring you guys over to have this discussion that we're going to talk about tonight. So we want to hear your comments in the comments, okay? If you got something to say, send it, okay? And we don't have to agree with it. All right, and if you like Trump, hey, that's your business. All right, you know. But hey, but anyway, but please definitely do that. You know, so we're welcoming you tonight to those. And if you do, please like it, share, like, share. Get out there and put the word out there. And lastly, we want to remind you to support us. Yes, we need that money. Okay, because we want to go some things, so we need some money. But it's to be able to do it. But you can actually submit to us through our Cash App, which is on the crawler below, as well as our Venmo accounts. So send us something. Yeah, $1 million or $2 million will be okay. Trust me, we will not be upset. All right, we will not be upset. We won't complain. All right, about the $1 million. Now, if it's less than $1 million, you might say we might hear some complaints. But you know, $1 million, we won't complain. All right, but anyway. So again, welcome to you tonight. So let's go ahead and dig in, fellas. All right, so we're gonna talk about this new orange. There's the new orange.
They say he's gonna stop putting on his makeup because he doesn't want to look so, you know.
Oh really? So that's makeup.
He wants to start looking sick. Oh yeah.
Well, I guess in jail you probably can't get Max Factor in jail, so you might you might as well get ready.
They make all kind of stuff up in jail. They make a little toilet wine,
Right.
little tattoo ink.
I can't. I can't. Oh God.
Cigarettes, they got all kind of stuff.
That came off of a movie. What was it?
What?
You remember? It was a movie
Was
that's
it?
about making toilet wine off of it. Oh my God! I hate this. It was an old. It's like really one of those films that really wasn't really that good in the box
Right.
office
Okay.
back in the early 2000s. It's gonna come to me. I think they had The Rock on it.
Really?
It might have, because I know they did it in Orange is the New Black as well.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay,
It was
okay.
like
It's like
an
a thing,
LGBT type of film almost.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Comedy, but yeah.
Learn how to make your own makeup and stuff in there.
Right.
Well, all he got to do is get in the commissary. As long as they keep Cheetos, he's gonna be all right.
Right. But I feel like that Saturday Night Live sketch, with so much has come this man's way, and like Keenan's character, like, ain't nothing gonna happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Because something would happen. He would penitentiary. That's the movie. Yes. That as many counts and charges that this man has had levied against him, and then the system really just is afraid to really hold him accountable because they're worried about what his followers are going to do. Right. I'm like, that's not, and I've said this before, that's not how you handle a bully, by running and being scared.
Right.
Like,
let him kick you out of the sandbox. You pick up the sand and throw the shit in his face. That's what you do. And keep it moving.
And the crazy part about it, even if he's convicted, he can still run for president and still be sworn in.
I'm so like you, because now I thought, doing in my era a couple of years ago in high school, that when we took government, that was that you could, if you had any type of conviction or crime or being indicted for anything or whatever the case may be, you could not run for the office. So how is it mysteriously not a part of the Constitution any longer?
Right.
I don't get that. I mean, because I'm of a certain age, and I do remember studying that in school. Okay.
Right.
So
that was one of the qualifications. I remember you had to be 35 years of age, and
at least.
So I'm like,
yes, a U.S. born.
Yeah, U.S. born. Yeah, right.
Yes, and no criminal record.
No criminal record. So I'm like, how in the hell are we getting away with this? At the end of the day. So, but again, all of this portion of the crap, I think is all going to come to surface at some point. Whatever. But back to your point. I'm sorry, because I know you had to bring your opening point about it.
Probably after Nixon left, they decided to change the law.
No, because that wasn't law when we were in school, though. So
Nixon was on his way to jail at one point too. Remember, they were because of Watergate.
Right. Absolutely.
Don't you think because of that situation they kind of changed up the protocol on that?
I don't know. I mean, it's worth looking into, but I'm not necessarily sure now, because I don't think it really changed. Honestly, I think it's just like you bypass stuff. You remember what you want to remember and forget what you don't want to remember. Okay, at the end of the day, and this is probably one of those convenient situations, and not want to remember because of what this seemingly control that this man has over this portion of America. So I don't know how they're lying to get it, get by with it, at the end of the day. But my point is, I know we're gonna make several points about this. The one thing is that I see, if he is not tried, if he is not convicted thoroughly, or whatever the case may be, convicted thoroughly, then I'm not. But here's the thing. What would this say to all of these other individuals that have made heinous mistakes, partial mistakes, inward mistakes? And these people are locked up right now, serving time. Okay, for situations.
You got people who got felonies that can't get a job. No way.
You know what I'm saying? So one of the things, and this is what the Jack, the special counsel guy, is one of the reasons why he came forward, and he really made sure that this was said, that there's nobody above the law. So it can't be a thing where if he gets away with it, because if he gets away with it, honestly, they will have to overturn everybody's conviction that's in jail, one way or the other, because that's unfair practices of the law. So they're not going to allow that to happen. In terms of, this is my speaking out, in terms of the whole, the whole justice system. That could be wrong, but I just don't really think so. So
they always make exceptions for who they want to make exceptions.
Well, true, but again,
a point right there to be made, because there's some people are exception above the rule,
right?
And I hate to say it, in Trump's situation, he is You know what? I want to believe. That's why I'm reserving my applause because I'm just like, this man has so many ways to get around this because they're going to do this in Miami, Florida. They're going to go through this procedure in Miami, Florida, where he appointed the judge himself. So I'm very like, okay, you know what? I see what's going on. I see what Merrick Garland is doing, the DOJ. But at the end of the day, this man has gotten away with so much murder before he became president and now that he's now become president, now all the stuff is coming out.
Right.
I'm surprised that they waited up until this time in his life now to do something about this, man.
Right.
This man has did so much dirt in his lifetime. I'm surprised that he is still walking around and he was able to become president. This is America, right?
I would like to think so. This is the
land of where this is. I'm just saying, I'm shocked,
right?
Because it makes no sense how this man has really divided this country so much to the point that he has just really is walking around. Well, and one more thing I want to say. The indictments itself, you're now seeing the 37 counts to 31 counts to 30 counts. Now, this is mainstream media got to do better about this.
Right.
They're confusing us now because this is what's got me all in my feelings. Just stay on point with the news. If the man got 37 counts, he got 37 counts.
Right.
Stay on topic. Stop making it so that we're, as Americans, are trying to figure out what are they talking about.
Right.
It was 37 yesterday, now it's 31.
Right.
I have issue with that too.
Right.
Well,
but I mean, but go ahead and finish your point. Yeah.
But just the fact that my thing is this man is as guilty as sin. They know he's guilty. The Republican Party knows he is guilty, but they're saving face because they're standing on an agenda, which is the agenda of trying to get whoever they can get back Republican into the White House. We all know that,
right?
But I'm just really like it's just really just grinding my gears that we had a conversation before the show that there are people out there who are struggling like everybody else in this country, whether it's with healthcare, bills, whatever you want to name it, mental wellness, they're willing to vote for this man. And you got some of us within our community that is withholding their votes to prove a point. My thing is, I'm like saying, people just need to wake up to what is going on, and this is a big issue that we need to start paying attention to. And some of it, and this is no game to be messed with. I'm just saying.
Well, no, I mean, so well articulated. I still get baffled at the fact that why these people feel like that they need to have this type of allegiance to this man. At the end of the day, you hear the ones say, "Oh, he tells it like it is," and and all this other type of stuff. There have been people that told it like it is. Barack Obama told it like it is. You just didn't want to listen to him. Okay, he articulated it in a different way. You didn't want to listen to him, and then the fact you didn't want to listen to him is because it was coming from somebody with a different color. Okay, but he told you, and like we talked about last week on the show. See, Barack came into fruition with an economic plan to better everybody in America. Okay, that was his first agenda. All right, and he purposely did a thing in front of the news when he was selecting his counsel to support him in that aspect of it. And the number one person he said he was putting on his board was Warren Buffett. Okay. The richest man at that time, richest man in the world. Okay.
So what was the Republicans' agenda doing that?
Well, of course, I do. Good. Go ahead. You can share.
I mean, to just overthrow anything that came out. If that was going to help the situation, overthrow it.
Right.
They were all about was it obstruction?
Right.
They made sure that obstruction. They made sure when he got sworn in that he was never going to pass a law.
Right.
The healthcare bill was the only thing that he could pass, and they were oh my God! I remember all these town hall meetings that they went in and went in and just threw it all over the place. Made people confused with the messaging, talking about people dying and all this other stuff. I swear that was. For any president, that could have been just the worst for us. Any first-time president, and Trump didn't even get all of that.
Well, it's also I think because of the party in which he represents, and then Mitch McConnell. Well, I call him Bitch McConnell, but
You call him what?
Bitch McConnell. he said that at that point of Barack's presidency that he was going to make sure that nothing got passed. And he did his bitchy ass to make sure that happened as much as possible, during the course of his presidency, But one thing we're gonna move on. I get you guys comments on this, and we can move on. But in the makeup of that, and I hear all these so-called economists that are these people that vote for Trump and everything. Y'all just don't get it. The fact that the economy was already on an upswing when the man came into office. Okay, he did not revise the economic system. He did not. Matter of fact, he put the economy in deeper debt during his time frame, in those short 4 years than beforehand. When Barack left office, we were in a surplus. Okay, but you didn't want to admit to the fact that this man did this particular job because you didn't really want him there in the first place.
This black man. Don't leave that part out.
Right. But anyway, we're going to pick this up after we come back from our break real quick. We'll see you guys in just a minute.
need a pickup, call Junk Stars. Yeah. If you need a dumpster or a demolition, call Junk Stars. Yeah. Call 844-55-STARZ. Junk Stars. It's Junk Stars, baby.
Hey, my name is Thurston, and here I have my CEO, son Langston. We specialize in junk removal, dumpster rental, and demolition. So if you need junk removed,
call Junk Stars.
You need dumpster rentals,
call Junk Stars.
All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth tonight. We have already started going, all right? Well, you picked up on my last comments. So, partner, what's your thoughts on this situation?
Through talking about that orange fool.
Yeah.
But I did go and look up what with a reference to Nixon. When he was offered the option of either resigning or being impeached and removed, right? Certain he chose to resign. They let him resign,
right?
And then with George W. Bush, a lot of people think that you can't have a criminal conviction, but in my little search, there have been other presidents who have run with a criminal record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's
win.
Yes, a lot of folks were like, "How was George Bush going to run? He had a DUI arrest in 1970."
That's right.
But there's nothing in our Constitution that says that the president can't have a criminal record. It's more of a societal taboo than it is a constitutional.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but with that piece of information there, it's like, so this needs to be, I mean, really brought on another legislative level for all of these people that have been being prosecuted in and out of the court system because they have a record.
Mm-hmm.
That, oh
man,
man,
you have a record, so you know if you have a felony, you can't even vote.
Right.
You can be president. That is
But you can be president. Yeah, that's a problem.
Crazy.
Yeah,
It's
so
a huge problem.
yeah, the only requirements are to be 35,
Uh-huh.
natural born citizen of the U.S., and have lived in the U.S. for at least 14 years.
Okay.
That's it.
No, that it depends on the state. It depends on the state that you live in, because every state has a requirement, you know. But but other than that, though, yeah, I hear what you're saying, Parnell.
That,
I hear what you're definitely saying.
But in general, I mean, just taking it off of the Orange Man for a minute here, but that's really bad. And I think that really needs to be addressed in the court systems or by that law, because it's not fair to those people that have done things or whatever the case may be, that they can't vote, they can't do it, they can't get it done. That all needs to go away. I mean, something that should be a law against that, you know, if that's the case.
Oh, but you know why that is.
Well, I know. I'm trying to be nice, Parnell.
It's not the nice show. This is the truth behind the truth.
I'm trying to say it, but not say it. Okay.
Dude, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it, because that's the whole thing of keeping so many Black people and Latinos and other people of color with criminal felonies so that they cannot vote. It's all about vote suppression.
And it's not the truth. That's the thing. That is not the truth behind the truth. That, I mean, as a rule, you know, and other people are getting, well, that's just a bunch of. But anyway, I know we got a lot to talk about. You got a point about this here real quick? I'm sorry.
I'm just cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm just cautiously optimistic.
Right.
Too.
So real quick, we put a post out, guys, on Facebook just to see what your comments are. Of course, invite you guys to be a part of the show tonight as well, and along with your comments. We want to just address a couple of your comments that you had posted, which was really good. I mean, agreeable or disagreeable, you know, on some of them, what they were, okay? And you're entitled to your own opinion. We're not hating on you, you know, and because you see things differently. Everybody doesn't see the world the same way. You
Just
know,
silently judging you.
Yeah, exactly. But I do want to know the question why, and maybe if you are hearing this a little bit later, I do really want to know why. And you can write us, you can send an email to me directly if you want to do that. I want to know why you think this man's underwear smells so good. I'm just, I know I said it that way, guys, for a purpose. Okay, reason I'm saying that is because out of all of the things that this man has done, he has lied to your face 27,000 times when he was in office, and then you still say he was telling the truth. Come on, y'all.
They don't believe that. They don't believe it.
That's what I'm saying, and I want to understand. I want to understand why you don't believe it. Okay, please just talk to me. You know, send it to me. I want to know. They may not want to know. My team may not want to know, but I want to know the hell why you do this. Okay, but then go with the comments.
I mean, one of the comments said 37 counts of deranged Democrat witch hunt, and it's bullshit propaganda. Which is a Fox talking point.
Now, what was the name of the person that did it?
You don't need to be knowing. You don't need to give these people names.
They're on Facebook.
I mean, Michael Hill said it, but still, though, you know, you have people who are saying, you know, it's a double standard in the justice system, which I think is baloney, because we as Black folk know about double standards,
right?
But let's not get into that,
right?
and call her a banana republic. But, you know, like, I'm looking at these comments, okay? And you got some comments that are saying that, you know, this he seems to blend in with the jumpsuit that you posted in the picture. But, you know, this right here, it does unnerve me, that the fact that you have people who feel like because this man has been put on the spot, that he has been wrongly prosecuted. But my thing is, no, he has not been wrongly prosecuted. You just wanted in your deranged worldview that this type of person that you celebrate, that you revere as a politician, that this cannot just happen. This cannot happen in America.
Right.
This is not supposed to happen in America.
Right. It's
the fact that this type of stuff, this rhetoric is all about supremacy.
Right.
And let's call it what it is. It is white supremacy. It's all about keeping the status quo where it's been since the beginning of this the conception of this country.
Right.
It's always been based on white men keeping the status quo where it needs to be. And I'm sorry, Trump is part of that status quo, whether we like it or not. You talked about Obama in the last segment. Obama was never going to be compared to this man, regardless if he was good or bad. Thank God he wasn't bad. I mean, he was as clean and just as good, but that was not enough to get him over the threshold with certain Republicans that just didn't want to see a black man as president. And let's just call it what it is. He was a black man and he was president. That was the worst thing that could have happened that night, but it happened. And I feel bad, but you know what? I'm looking at Cornel West. You got a picture of him too?
Okay.
Let's throw his picture up there, Charles.
Okay.
Let's get him what he needs. Because
well, I ain't looking at Cornel West. Let me just say this about Cornel West. Let me just say this about Cornel West. When I was an undergrad is when I discovered who Cornel West was, and I was so inspired and impressed by his brilliance. I think I must have seen him on like a PBS special. I ran out and got his book, Race Matters, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy is just brilliant. And I don't know what happened, but something happened when Barack Obama became president, and he just became, I could not understand the attack that he and Tavis Smiley, who was also another person who I looked up to and admired, was so against him, understanding he was the first black president, and they understand the dynamics that go on in the workplace. So you know what goes on in the political system. He couldn't do all these things that they were, wanting him to do and wanting him to say. It was just, to me, it just didn't make any sense. And I just lost, respect and regard for both of them during that time.
And Jesse Jackson.
Go ahead, Pernell.
No, and I'm with Harold. It's like for two very intelligent men who should know how our government works.
Right.
It's that no, regardless of who the president is, there's only so much that you can legally do without Congress's approval.
Right.
So everybody, you can only do so many executive orders. And there are restrictions on how many and what you can do an executive order on. And again, the whole purpose of our government was so that we didn't have a monarchy like the founding fathers had left. That was the whole point of not having one person who could just willy-nilly decide whatever they wanted the country to be.
Right.
And that's where we're in the situation we're fighting against,
today.
Was during the clown's reign is he wanted to be able to say, because he was used to doing it with his business, that his word. It's like, that's not how the country works. So Congress has their say, and they can overrule you. If they really don't like what it is that you set up.
Let me say this, and we got to move on. We'll stop talking about him. But one of the things that I wanted to put out, and we put this out, I think last year when all this stuff was going on, and I said, on this show, you guys can go back and look at it. I said one of the reasons this man had took all of those documents, from purpose.
Why are you talking about Trump again? I thought you were talking about.
This is a very important part. This is a very important part. I wanted to say this earlier, but it's a very important part. So just to get clarity on what the issue was, that it was here, why it was done. Okay, so this man took these documents on purpose. There was not forgetting. There was not I didn't know, I didn't have, and all this. You look at the documents that have even been brought forth. They've been discussing. What his plan was is to have that information, especially on nuclear arms, and the codes that are involved in all of that process, so that he could set up and overthrow the government through all of these people that he has up on him. Now, I'm saying it on record because that's what it is. You check your facts. You look at how January 6th lines up with that, Those same people, this is the same rhetoric that he wanted to have later on. That's why he took the information. With that type of information in his hand, there's nothing anybody could do with him. Check your history. Hitler did the same thing. He did exactly the same thing. This was that man's plan. But thank God, maybe somebody prayed on the right side, that, something happened that, that it didn't happen at this point. And hopefully it won't. But anyway, we're going to move on. I just want to put that out there. But what's the next one?
Okay. Well, just to get off of Cornel West, let's just say this. I want Sister Soldier to come on back to the forefront, please, because he needs a debate. But let's talk about the LGBT state of emergency within the United States, or probably all over the world. Y'all know the LGBT IQ plus. Y'all know there's so many.
The new alphabet.
It's LGBTQI.
Yes, honey. It's a lot. But you know what? The saddest thing about this situation is that we're talking about Trump, we're talking about politics, but this all ties back into this situation that we are talking about with Trump, but it's the new rhetoric with the Republican Party.
Right.
My thing is, I think this has become a distraction. The biggest distraction that the American public needs to get their minds off of what is so important that we need what we need from this government and what we need from our leaders. You have people who are just throwing all types of, homophobic rhetoric. Right. And I understand that people do not understand the situation with the trans and pronouns. That's a hard thing to grasp. Right. Well, not a hard thing to grasp. It's just, for some, it's a hard thing to process. Right. Because to be honest with you have people like DeSantis, you have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about you have to be biologically sound to be a parent, to be a woman, to be a man. We all understand biology. Right. But the saddest thing about this is, why is this so important to the fact that now this has now became a situation within our education situation. Right. It's now become the church has gotten involved. You have different communities are now fighting each other. The Armenians, it's just out here in Glendale for example, this Armenians are fighting each other on this. It's getting ridiculous. I mean, what do y'all? What are you?
This is the focus on that because they have nothing. Don't want to focus on real issues, right? Solve real problems, right? Like again, we've so many people have been talking about it. The number one cause of death in our youth is guns. Right. Getting killed, but they won't do anything about that every single week.
Absolutely.
Sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. There is a mass shooting.
Well, I mean to cut you off. All right, go ahead. Today.
Yes, right. And there's nothing being done about it. But we haven't seen any drag queens who have gone out and mass murdered anybody. Right. Anything is nothing like that has happened. It really is, and I'll keep saying it, the last gasp of white supremacy. Is that the power is starting to be shared amongst people, and as the more rights that we got, the more they got freaked out and panicked because it's not going to be just straight white Christian men in charge of everything with the only voice that matters. It's like, no, now you have to, if we're going to be the United States of America and we're going to live up to the promise of, Barack Obama's speech, he was talking about, there can't be a white America, black America, straight America, gay America. It's going to be the United States of America that everybody has to be guaranteed life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not just the people that you like, not just the people who share your religious beliefs, but everybody who is an American citizen has the right to live their life as they see fit. It ain't got a damn thing to do with how you live your life. You don't like it, that's fine. You have the right not to like it, but you don't have the right to interfere in other people's lives because you don't like it. There's a lot of shit people are doing that I don't like. I don't like the fucking Klan, but I'm like, okay, y'all have a right to exist and be hateful or whatever. But as a country, we have to say, like, yeah, you can believe all that stuff. However, if your beliefs lead you to cause harm to other people, that you can't do.
Right.
And they've been doing that.
And they have. Go ahead, Harold.
No, I was just going to say, this whole discussion just reminds me of something Maya Angelou said about James Baldwin. She said James Baldwin was so angry at the injustice and the hypocrisy of America. And not just with America, with the Black church, the hypocrisy that exists with the Black church, and the complex relationship that Black Americans have with that's part of the Black church that's inspirational and supportive, but then there's that rhetoric that also tears you down. So it's a very complex, relationship. And he always wrote and spoke so elegant and eloquently about those dynamics. So this being, Pride Month, I just wanted to mention, James Baldwin, because he was such a brilliant mind.
And I gotta add this before. I'm sorry, JV. I know I gotta get out of here and get to the theater. But as we mentioned, James Baldwin, and I just saw this play Thursday night, a heated discussion, and it's about people. It's about the spirits, the ghosts of James Baldwin, Lorraine Hansberry, Maya Angelou, Tupac Shakur, Malcolm Martin, Nina Simone, all being called by three of the gods of the Orisha. It's like, what are we going to do? This is what's happening. We've seen all this stuff throughout your life. Ida B. Wells is one of the ghosts there. So from her up until Tupac, we've seen all this stuff that has gone on, the oppression that has happened to Black people in this country. It's like, how do we, with our varying degrees, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing was, that was a whole lot. And having them argue and trying to figure out what is the best point of action.
Oh my God, I can chill thinking about that. Wow.
It's a dynamic piece. If you guys get a chance to see it, I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be running, but it was at the Roby Theater Company.
Well, that's something that needs to be on Broadway. I mean, honestly,
there's another meeting that needs to be on Broadway too. That meeting that they had with Robert Kennedy.
Oh yeah,
he was the DOJ in
1963.
That's something that they need to talk about too. But we can talk about it in the next segment.
So, Parnell, we know you got to run.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a great show tonight, guys. You know that's our actor, our loving brother actor. He's on stage again tonight. He dropped in to say hey. All right. So we will see you next week, same place, same time.
Yes, sir.
Be safe tonight, brother.
Peace out, y'all.
We're going for a quick break. We'll be right back, guys. All right, and we are back. Man, this is a good truth behind the truth tonight, boy. Woo! So, but real quick before we go back, dig back in, because I want to pick up where Parnell left off. Want to remind you guys, please subscribe and like and share. Simple. Like, subscribe, and share. 3 things. Like, subscribe, and share. Oh, one more. 4, support. Okay. 4, support. We need your money. Okay. We need your money. All right. I'm gonna say it again. We need your money. So Cash App, TTB Show on Cash App, TTB Show on Cash App, and in Venmo, The Truth Behind the Truth. Send the money. I said million, but we'll take 99.99.99. Okay. You can't do the million, all right. But anyway, so back digging in again, we want to thank all of our new viewers tonight for participating, being a part, and again with your comments on Facebook that you submitted this past week. It was really, really powerful. And keep that dynamic going, because number one, if we begin to start talking to each other, whether we agree, it's not the point. Hear somebody else's point out, and then you can get at least understand them, and then you know how to position yourself around each other. Because we're all not going to agree. There's some, y'all, some of y'all don't like that. I got a ball here. Larry got a ball here, but guess what? We don't care. But anyway, so back into to Parnell's point, that production. I mean, we were talking about during the break. That needs to be on Broadway. Yes. I'm really serious. I mean, to that degree, because one thing for sure we were discussing as well during the break is that art will cause people to listen.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Art will, whether they will come in the theater and whatever the case will be, and they will sit, and if it's gripping enough, they will stay and get the message that's clearly done, presented to them. I remember one show, and I'm not you speak up here. I went to see what's the tap dance guy?
Bojangles?
No, Bojangles.
Nipsey Russell?
No. Tap dance. Savion Glover. So Savion Glover, he won the Tony for his show, Bringing the Noise, Bringing the Fun.
Yeah.
Okay, and I had the opportunity to say, actually, I saw it twice. I did what they call a Noise Funk, but it was so. There's two things. It was great, and then there was a sad point. All right, the great point is that the audience was just mesmerized by this particular show. The sad part about it, it was only 3% black. Okay. The audience was loving it. And here's the thing, my point why I bring it up this way. This show was done, it was all in your face, completely. Every scene, because they told stories through dance through for vision. They danced through these pictures of history, starting from slavery, moves up to migration, all these things moving forward. And they were really, really in your face with the message. Okay. And it told a beautiful story in a beautiful way. But the sad part about it is that the greatest support wasn't there. But the support that was there, they loved the show. And I just bring it up the fact that art has a way of sending message. You can't say that our Caucasian brothers that were at that show did not walk away from a clear message. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So we can do this. It can be done in that form. You know what I mean? And just like the show that was done on Broadway that Jennifer Hudson just produced. It was just, I think it just closed or whatever, but that was done. It brought a whole new light to the LGBTQ community. You know what I'm saying? It was a brilliant musical, and it's probably going to win. Matter of fact, tomorrow night, guys, if you're a Tony fan, if you're a theater fan, the Tonys are on tomorrow night on CBS. Yeah, CBS, wherever your CBS stations are. But anyway, so, but I think it's up for several Tonys, for this year, for that particular production. And y'all can tell I love Broadway. But anyway, go ahead, here. I'm going to shut my mouth. Go ahead. What's your point?
No, I just wanted to mention, the tragedy that occurred, I think last week. No, the week before last, the passing of Jackie O.
Yes.
Yes. And it's just really sad. I saw her boyfriend at the funeral. The funeral was today. He gave such a moving message, and they had such a beautiful family. And it's just so sad of her untimely death. She was only 32, right. And she was having what they call a baby makeover. And the person that she was, the surgeon was a surgeon out of Miami who's known as the butt lift specialist. And I didn't realize that's one of the most sought after surgeries is a butt lift. I saw there was a statistic that I found that said that 1 in 3,000 inpatients die either on the table or not long after having a BBL, according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons. So it's a dangerous surgery. And they said the reason why it's so dangerous is because they take fat and re-inject it into the butt. But if it's injected in the wrong place, you can actually inject it inadvertently into one of the blood vessels of the body.
Oh, wow.
And when that happens, there's places like a blood clot that can travel to the blood, brain or to the heart, and then you're gone.
That's
what makes
that sincerely makes sense. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I mean, really, and that is, I mean, I had the opportunity to work with DC Young Fly on Almost Christmas, so I can imagine, what he's going through, and such beautiful children. Yeah. Oh my gosh, their kids! Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful.
But she was beautiful.
She was beautiful as well.
That's the only thing about this situation that kind of unnerved me. Like, I mean, what more did she have to do to her body to get it to where it needed to be? She was young enough for it to snap back.
Right.
My thing about this whole entire situation is that, when you go and do surgeries like this, you need to do your homework,
right?
And you need to know who is doing the surgery. Now, this doctor Zachary Oyore, is that how you pronounce it? This man has had situations before this where he has sued patients. He has sued patients for giving him a bad rap about his malpractice and of doing surgeries that didn't go right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, if you're going to do stuff like this to your body, you need to understand that you are putting, like you say, your life and health in jeopardy. And some things are just not needed. And I'm looking at her and I'm saying to myself, what made you want to go get a mommy makeover?
You know, I think it's the pressures of social media.
That's
people with the comments, the negative opinions, and very vocal about things. I think it puts a lot of pressure on women to look a certain way really quickly.
And
you don't even get a chance you don't even get a chance to let your body, because she just recently, I mean, her youngest baby is only like 6 months. So she just recently had the baby.
Right.
So it's just really, really sad. And it's just sad that the pressure and all the stuff we put on women to look a certain way,
Yeah, well, and I guess it is I think a makeup of society that puts us in pressure on women to have this perfect being. I mean, at the end of the day,
it puts it on men. It puts it on everyone. Men wearing little headpieces and getting little hair transplants.
Right.
It's really unfortunate.
But this goes back to the situation. The same thing. I think that's what happened with Kanye's mother, under the knife, and then
Usher's baby mama too, because
right,
she almost died from
right. And then of course Joan Rivers. I don't know what she was having done, but I mean, I know y'all know how you feel about it, but she died, of course, in that same situation as well. Seeing her plastic surgeon. So like you said, if this is something you desire, I mean, if it can't come through honest hard work or whatever, you need to get cut and tucked. Okay, please make sure you do your homework, because it's not worth your life. A lifted butt ain't worth you dying. Okay, at the end of the day, because if they're gonna love you, they're gonna love you with a low hanging butt or top hanging butt. They're gonna love you. Okay, at the end of the day, and if they value you because your body is, if your man has to have your breast all up to your nose, he ain't the right one for you in the first place, because he knew when you beginning you had big breasts. So don't worry about it. Okay, at the end of the day, go find somebody else to accept them. Instead of putting yourself in those type of positions, just really ridiculous. And to die, and then you're leaving kids behind. So sad for her. So sad for her. And again, our heart goes out to her family and her children. At this point, will have to be without a mom for that particular point in time. So what's the next point? We got to move on.
I mean, and to come off of that story, which is such a heartfelt story. That's I know nobody really been paying attention to this Prince Harry story, but y'all know what? Y'all haven't been paying attention. Let me tell y'all something. I know we over here in the U.S. is not really doing that much, coverage over it, but over there in the U.K., y'all talk about all this craziness that's going on, that the coverage of what they have to deal with pertaining to. Let's just say this: the celebrities over here have it a little bit more easier than them celebrities over in the UK. You're talking about phone hacking. You're talking about people getting into your underwear. You're talking about people getting into your emails and all this other stuff. They really over there, the media over in Great Britain are atrocious.
Wow.
To the point that they will have you commit suicide and still go over there and report. The situation that's going on right now, I think with Prince Harry, he's exposing a lot of people, including his family now, and I don't blame him for doing that, because the situation that happened with him and Meghan over there in the UK within their marriage was a situation that had, that really could have went far left if Harry didn't have that strong mindset to just leave with his wife.
Right.
Because the situation that is now going on is that the press over there are wanting him to come back and divorce his wife, or either that or have his wife killed or somebody. But they are going to the nail to destroy this man and his situation with Meghan. But not only them, but a bunch of other celebrities too. There was another celebrity. We don't know of too much of those people over there, but she committed suicide because of the press attention that she got.
Right.
But it's just the fact that we have to take into consideration that when you are of some celebrity status, you have to remind yourself that these are people too.
Right.
As much as we are on social media, giving our best looks, showing our best life, you have to understand that they are it's on another level. Right. And we were just talking about Lizzo's situation, this past show that we did about, people confronting her about her weight. But you know what? I have to give her some grace. As much as I do not care for the situation with her and and what she wears, I have to take into consideration that she's a human being.
Right.
And she has every right to feel the way she feels.
Right.
Because we would hate to be in a situation where somebody is calling us out about our weight, about the way we look. It's just the fact that I think we have to, give people grace where it's needed.
Right.
But yes, in Prince Harry's situation, he is exposing government and he's exposing family and he is exposing some of the press. And I think he is doing a good job because at the end of the day, some people are, they out there, their stuff is out there now. So y'all pray for him because we, it's more than just you have to.
Right. No,
I
totally agree.
This is some dangerous stuff.
So great point. We got to get ready for a break. I was going to say that, but one of the things that we are, of course, as you guys know, we're in the middle of Pride Month, and of course, every show we've been dedicated to celebrating Pride. But when we come back, we're going to talk about a couple of people of Pride we want to recognize with that, and then let's end the show tonight really talking about the inspiration of love and what Pride really meant in the aspect of love. Okay, so that we can kind of just continue to put that message in the universe. All right,
and let's mention something about Beyonce.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. We'll be right back after this break.
They don't. That's the truth.
Absolutely.
I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But anyway, so we're back. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna dig in. This is gonna be like a little entertainment segment right here because it's a couple of things we want to mention about that. But encompassing with our love message for Pride. Let's knock out your Beyonce question first, and then we'll go to your point.
What wasn't a question? I just wanted to mention that Beyonce has introduced Blue Ivy, as a part of her show, and she's doing a great job.
Right.
So that's all I want to say.
Oh, you want to give Blue Ivy a shout out? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need all them pictures of Beyonce. Okay, thank you.
We need those. Look at Beyonce. Come on, Beyonce.
You know what's so nice is to see her, see Blue doing what she's doing, and that's one thing I like about the fact that she's given her a platform to get out there and express herself. But going back to what we're talking about within the LGBT community, because we were talking about James Baldwin, these people that represent the legends, I would say.
Right.
But what Parnell was talking about, the play, I think we also, if you have a chance within your time, look and do some research that they the meeting that they did with Robert Kennedy when he was DOJ in 1963, when President Kennedy was the leader of this country, when Lorraine Hansberry and James Baldwin, Harry Belafonte, Lena Horne, and all of these people went up to the White House. They didn't go to the White House. They went to Robert Kennedy's suite. And they had this meeting because of the situation that was going on in Birmingham at the time. They were really, at that point in time, one of the leaders, the artists of that time period of the 60s. They went up there to prove a point to Robert Kennedy, saying that we're all in this together with what we come with the argument of letting you know that we're trying to bring about change, and we want you to have to guarantee a moral compass to the civil rights movement because there are so many people out here dying, they're struggling. I think honestly, if you have enough time, really really read about that meeting because it ties into what's going on right now with our police situation, our judicial systems, with the stuff that is going on politically, race relations. It really is really preferent that I really would want somebody to really look into that and do some research because it's worth reading about. But that's it.
But make your point about you said about our who we wanted to focus in on point this morning. You said you had somebody you wanted to focus in on. If not,
that was the two.
Those okay, I got you.
Lorraine Hansberry, James Baldwin.
Okay, I got you.
And you know, James Baldwin once says, "No one has the right to tell anybody who they can love."
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. I mean, that should be plastered all over courthouse like the Ten Commandments is.
Yeah,
you put it above the 10 Commandments. All right. At the end,
how you gonna tell somebody they can't love this person or that person?
Right, and what is again? It's a bunch of overreach. Number one, you know, I mean, and collectively, it's a bunch of overreach. You know, but I can't get. We'll say that for next week, okay? Because there's a point that this next line of conversation that's going on about this overreach of the government in terms of being in places where they shouldn't be in your life, okay? But we'll say that for next week, and we'll dig into that a little bit further. Because God forbid if the orange whatever that what we talked about at the beginning of the show gets back in office, and I hope that he is already planning to do a whole lot of overreaching into your life, okay? It's already being planned. He's already putting it out there. Okay. But we'll say that for next week and get him a little bit more of a conversation. But anyway, as I said, it is Pride Month. Okay. And I like to consider it not yes, it's celebrating the LGBTQ and the rest of the letters. All right. However, it is an opportunity really to understand love in another capacity where you haven't been able to do so. To your point, Harold, is no one does have the right to tell you who to love. Okay. From the beginning of the movement of the LGBT community, their sole purpose was to have humanity accept them in love, and they never wanted it to be us versus them. It was just it became an us versus them because people were trying to tell them who to love and what to do in their private time with whomever they loved with. As this time that are together, and you have friends, family members, or whatever, they love on these people, and I hate to say these people, but in this case of the conversation is these people because they do represent the LGBTQ community. Okay, this is the time for you really to learn more about love if you don't understand. We said last week that love is unconditional. Okay, there is no condition for love. All right, at all. That's why it's called unconditional love. All right, you can't love it halfway today because you do this right or that right or the way I feel. If you're gonna love, you're gonna love. Period. Now, this same edict that I'm putting out there in terms of the heterosexual community, the LGBT community needs to pick it up as well. Okay, this crossing breeding that's going on in the LGBT community, it needs to stop because you should be the first true example of what love should be. Okay, at the end, because you know what you go up against, right. So you should be the shining example of what love should be and execute it. Whether you're black side of it, white side, or Hispanic side, or trans side of it, whatever side of it that you represent, you should be the individuals that are on the forefront of giving the example of what love is truly about. Okay, so hey, LGBTQ, love. All right, straight folk, love. All right, everybody, love. Okay, that's it. Bottom line, find your way into love and make it happen. All right, it's been a great night, gentlemen. Harold, good to see you, man. Glad to have you back. I'll give you hugs. Your love as well. We will be right back. You all right? You good? All right. Thank you for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth tonight. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.